Hey, what's up guys, it's Scares here. Now our first story of today comes from the Twitch streamer known as Ludwig. Now Ludwig is a huge streamer, and a month ago he started something called a subathon, where he had a countdown timer, and every time you sub to him it adds 10 seconds to the timer, and if the timer ends, it ends the whole subathon. So people kept subbing to him to get more time on the timer, and so many people subbed to him that this lasted for an entire month. I mean, people just kept subbing to make sure that the timer would not run out, and this whole thing is pretty crazy because there was a lot of moments over the last month where the timer got very low and he was about to end the subathon because people were just not subbing, and right before the timer was about to end, tons of people would come in and sub to his channel. He made 4,000 subs in only a few minutes because people wanted to see him continue the subathon. So when you stop and think about it, this is actually a great way to get subscribers on Twitch. This guy thought of a genius idea because he made tons of subscribers over the last few weeks, and it turns out that he made so many subscribers that yesterday when he ended his subathon, he had actually broken the world record for the most subs on Twitch. He broke Ninja's record of over 262,000 subscribers. He now has over 280,000 subs on Twitch.
We're about there, boys. There it is. You were here. This is the new record on Twitch for most subscribers all time. Holy.
Now, even Ninja himself reacted to Ludwig beating his own record. He says, records are meant to be broken. I wouldn't be lying if I said I wasn't a little sad, but congrats on holding a new sub record on Twitch. Now, the next story of today's video is a lot more serious. This comes from Jake Paul. Now, Jake Paul is in hot water again because recently he was accused of sexual assault. That's right, Jake Paul was accused of assaulting a woman only a few years ago when he was at the Team 10 house. So this is pretty serious stuff. This comes from a girl known as Justine Paradise. Now, she posted this to her YouTube channel. It has over 700,000 views. Justine claims here that she went to the Team 10 house a few years ago with her friends, and Jake Paul had actually brought her into his room in private, and apparently he assaulted her while she was there. Just watch this.
What am I supposed to do? He was literally, I was still laying down. He was on top of me and like holding my head like into him. Like I couldn't even tell him not to. He didn't ask for consent or anything. Like, he knew I didn't want to do anything with him because he said, if nothing's gonna happen, what's the point? And then he just shoves himself in me. That's not okay. On no level at all is that okay. It didn't last that long though, because he finished in, honestly, it was less than 30 seconds, so it didn't last that long. It was like 20 seconds, if that. He did that, I couldn't go anywhere because he was literally grabbing my head and shoving himself in me. At that point, I was really confused and like, what the heck just happened? Why did that happen? I was like, what the heck? So I just like kind of rolled over on his bed and I'm like, what the heck? And then he cuddled me for like 0.2 seconds. He literally put his arm around me and then got back up and then walked over to his door and he's like, okay, let's go back to the stew. And I'm just like stew as in studio for those that don't get it. Yeah, all right, let's go back to the stew. And I was like, okay, let me just like fix my hair and makeup first because it was all messed up.
Now, this video completely blew up over the past week. You have tons of people upset with Jake Paul over this, and even Floyd Mayweather himself came out yesterday and he trash talked Jake Paul because of this. He says the kid is so thirsty, he harassed a minor. Some people don't understand the word no. So Floyd Mayweather posted this on Instagram about Jake Paul. The thing is here is that she was not a minor during this altercation with Jake. She was an adult. So you had many people that were upset with Floyd because they felt like he was spreading misinformation about Jake Paul and just completely lying about him here. And Floyd himself even had to change his Instagram post yesterday to females instead of minor. So while Jake Paul has been getting a ton of backlash recently over these allegations against him, he just came out with a response here claiming that he had no sexual altercation with this girl at all. He says here, sexual assault accusations aren't something that I or anyone should ever take lightly. But to be crystal clear, this claim made against me is 100% false. Not only have I never had any sexual relationship with this individual, but this claim is solely a manufactured accusation and a blatant attempt for attention during a highly visible fight week. Make no mistake, I plan on pursuing this defamation of character case to the fullest extent of the law. There are irreparable damages from these types of accusations, and more importantly, false allegations of of this nature diminish those who have truly been victims of misconduct. Again, this individual is directly using the attention from her social media posts and video to promote her adult content website and Amazon shopping list, designed for people to buy her gifts. These allegations come conveniently for her almost 2 years after the alleged incident and the week of my fight, of course. At the time of her story, I was in a relationship, and as someone who was a mama's boy growing up, I respect women and mothers more than anything. I most certainly have never laid a finger on a girl without their consent. I will fight this to the end to prove my innocence. This isn't the first preposterous allegation made against me in my career, and it most likely won't be the last. As someone who has lived in the spotlight since the age of 16, dealing with liars, fake news, and false accusations unfortunately is a part of the job. I won't back down from it, and years from now, my character as an individual will show and shine through these dark moments. So Jake Paul is claiming here that these allegations are completely false. They're completely made up, and he's saying here this is actually made for her to get views and attention, for her to promote her own websites and her Amazon shopping list right before Jake Paul's big fight with Ben Askren. He says here that because he has this big fight with Ben Askren and he's gotten a lot of publicity lately, she has jumped on this to get more fame for herself. Now, obviously, there are a lot of people that are upset with Jake Paul's response, saying here that they feel like what she was saying was completely true. I mean, in her video, she did show text conversations. Now, she didn't share the actual number, but according to her, these were real conversations that she had with Jake Paul at the time, and she also shows video of her allegedly being at the Team 10 house at that time as well. So it's very hard to tell what really happened here because this happened such a long time ago. Jake's own lawyer spoke out on this. He says our client is aware of the recent allegations against him. While others have already begun to debunk the claim alleged against him, our client categorically denies the allegation and has every intention of aggressively disproving it and pursuing legal action against those responsible for the defamation of his character. Our client believes that any false allegations diminish the credibility of those who have truly been victims of misconduct. So it really does look like Jake Paul is going to take legal action against people involved with this story. Now, the next story of today's video comes from Chris Tyson. If you don't know, Chris is a part of MrBeast's crew. He's in all of MrBeast videos, and I know people love Chris. Now, the thing is recently Chris has been under fire because he made some pretty insensitive tweets in the past. Now, a lot of these tweets come from 2016, so they were about 5 years old, but people on Twitter are very upset with some of these tweets that Chris posted. So this one Twitter user initially exposed these tweets back on April 6th, and these have been blowing up more and more every single day since this happened. And many of these tweets people found very, very insensitive. There's a lot of times where he would just say the R word on his Twitter. He would call his friends the R word. He would say the R word a lot on his Twitter. There were other tweets that people felt were Islamophobic, where he was going after Islam. Chris had also made terrorist jokes here. He also posted memes that a lot of people felt were very offensive. People had also found old MrBeast videos where Chris had said the N word here.
What? Well, you just said the N-word.
But I'm not relevant.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So I want to make this very clear here. All of this stuff has happened years ago, okay? And obviously since then, Chris has changed. He even apologized for this last year, but it looks like this is blown up again. You have a lot of YouTubers making videos on this. This is all over Twitter, and Chris has decided to apologize again on his second Twitter account. He says, "Hey everyone, I want to talk about my past insensitive tweets. I wanted to address some things that have been brought to light from my past and apologize. I will not make any excuses because I am completely responsible for my actions and words. I want to start off by saying that the person I was when I was making these edgy jokes and tweets years ago is not the person I am today. During that time in my life, I had a lot of hate for myself and I let it flow through my humor and opinions. As I've matured, I've realized that edgy jokes can do so much to hurt people. Growing up in the South, I picked up many views and opinions that I now strongly disagree with, and I have since re-educated myself on. I have been reading all of your responses, DMs, and videos, and I want you to know I have learned from this, and I'm going to keep using my platform to try to help people and spread messages of acceptance and love. I will continue to reflect on this and try my best to make a positive impact on the world as much as I can." So this apology from Chris had some very mixed feedback. There's people that liked the apology, but there's a lot of people on Twitter that felt like his apology was way too short. There's even people on Twitter calling for Chris to be deplatformed right now because he hasn't been held accountable, according to them. So obviously people are very, very upset with Chris right now. Now, since this whole thing happened, Chris has deactivated his Twitter account, and he also ended his own Discord server just 2 days ago. Chris just posted this on his server right before he deleted it. He says, "Hey guys, I just wanted to let you know I'm going to be deleting the server. For the time being, I really have no interest in interacting online other than being in the MrBeast videos and MrBeast content. Just giving everyone a heads up, it's been a lot of fun. I'll be deleting the server in probably the next 2 hours. Thank you guys so much for keeping this dead server alive." And that's it for our video today, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to leave a thumbs up, and I'll see you later. Peace.